front and we'll give to Ms. Askew for the record. Mr. McGinnis, if you read the roll call.
Mr. Hurt?
Here.
Ms. Remark?
Here.
Mr. McGinnis here. Mr. Bohan?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Ms. Washington absent. Mr. Hoitzman?
Here.
Ms. Benjamin?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Here.
Behind you.
Mr. Neal? Absent. Ms. Lesage? Absent. You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. First is approval of minutes for September 27th. Are there any changes?
Called in. Simple grammatical changes already.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a first and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? New items. Mr. McGinnis.
Item number 4, site plan approval, Daytona International Speedway Grandstands, DEV 2012-076.
Yes, may we hear from Mr. Walton, if you present.
Yes, I'm sorry. You read item number 4 on the record? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Staff is here tonight, very pleased to bring forward to you the first site plan. The first site plan for the Speedway subsequent to the master plans being approved. At the last City Commission meeting on October 17th, the City Commission approved all the applications you saw, I believe, 2 meetings ago. And so those are in place. And that actually resulted in a change. The maps we provided for you were actually done before that action happened, so the maps didn't reflect the changes the City Commission just did. If you recall, those master plans are for the long-term plans for the Speedway. This first phase, I'm sure the applicants here will be happy to answer any questions. They've got any number of people to help answer questions you may have from them or from staff. Yes? Can't hear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I wanted to bring a couple items as updates to our staff report. Besides the zoning that changes that happened, you have a letter in your package tonight from the county who wrote the report. Applicant hadn't received that yet. We have that now, and you have that in your package with an acceptance. The zoning approval that the City Commission approved, the development agreement, included some language of this requirement that the county receive their plans and sign off, which that's what that is fulfilling. Also, the staff report incorrectly identifies this needing to go on to City Commission for final approval. This planning board would be final approval on the site plan. This request deals with 55 acres south of International Speedway Boulevard, generally in the area where the current grandstand area is. It houses also some of the infrastructure, and it'll be reconstruction of the grandstand area. That's another detail drawing we have of that area. That's part of the site plan. The TRT has reviewed these plans and approved the site plan subject to final site plan sign-off. The comments are pretty standard by TRT, all relatively minor things such as the final drawings and state permit sign-offs will be required, but staff recommends approval, and be happy to answer any questions if you have any of staff.
Are there any questions from the board of staff?
I have
Sorry.
just one on the overall grandstand reconstruction exhibit. The comments about the existing ponds to be filled, those are part of the stormwater and it's being handled elsewhere, right? Just because
Yes.
of how that.
When they bring those final permits, was part of their final site plan.
That's part of the
Taken care
TRT?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Hearing no others, could we hear from the applicant, Mr. Merle?
Mr. Chitwood.
Oh,
Okay.
Mr. Chitwood, I'm sorry.
Rob's going to take a break. Joey Chitwood, One Daytona Beach. I'm the
Oh.
president of Daytona International Speedway, and I just want to share with you the excitement that I feel, and I hope that you feel the same. I can't imagine what Big Bill France felt like when he decided to finally say, we're going to build a super speedway in Daytona Beach and move from the beaches to the high banks, and the wherewithal it took. And here we are at a moment in history about recreating the Daytona International Speedway for the next 50 years. And what you start to see in the plans as we develop are the amenities that we think our fans expect now when it comes to attending major sports properties, whether it's concourses and seating, vertical transportations, the addition of escalators, the ability to make sure when a fan attends the Daytona International Speedway, there's no other motorsports venue that can compare to what they enjoy when they come here. Hopefully you've seen our company make massive investment in our community, and I look to the 8-story International Motorsports Center as a great example of how proud we are to be in this community and the pride we take when we put our investment in. That's the same approach that we're going to take when we look at the Daytona International Speedway, and I guess the best way to say this is that we want to create a motorsports stadium. Because what you see out there are racetracks and grandstands and the things around it. For us, when we look at what we compete with in the stick and ball sports world, those are the things that we have to achieve to. And that's the expectation we have, and that's why we're so excited to get to this point with the approvals we received from you so far, as well as the City Commission, hopefully an approval tonight, because we are well on our way to what Daytona can be for the next 50 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All those in favor? I'm sorry, I'm talking about the, anyone in the audience, yeah. We have Mr. Nicholson, I'm sorry.
Speedway answers my questions.
All right. Board? Any comments?
Motion to approve development 2012-076 Daytona International Speedway grandstands,
Subject to
Second.
TRT approval.
subject to the conditions in the
Okay,
staff report.
TRT,
TRT approval.
right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passed.
Have fun out there, you guys.
Yes.
A lot of work ahead of you.
We're all waiting for it.
How many of us
That's
are there?
gonna be
1, 2,
exciting.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of us here.
Next, we have our other, being as we only have the one item on our agenda tonight, we're ready for other business. Downtown Blue Road redevelopment, Ms. Washington isn't here. Midtown redevelopment, Ms. Benjamin.
Midtown Redevelopment Board met Tuesday, October the 9th at 6 p.m. in City Hall, Commissioners' Chambers. The staff report was given from court enforcement, and there were a lot of questions to court about the building that's on Martin Luther King, 112, I think that's the building number. And they put a picket fence, the wooden fence around it. And he was gonna check into it some more. But they was granted permission to do that. They just couldn't put the fence there, just like that. Also, the action item was DEV 2012-041, VCU Larry R. Hanfield Athletic Center Training Practice Field. It was passed. Another action item was the Midtown Master Plan, amendment to the Midtown Redevelopment Plan, and that was continued to the next meeting. There's gonna be a workshop. Basically, that was all the important items. And then there was a special item that came before us, for 110 North Franklin Street, PCM, Associates wanted to open up I guess it's a some kind of car shop to do stuff. And that building was passed before, and there was a lot of questions about it because they approved it before for an auto, put in stereos and stuff in it, and it didn't materialize to be that. So now, this person that owns this business, and he came before us, it wasn't on the agenda, but he did speak, and he said that he lived in Port Orange, South Daytona. He opened up something that was not working, so he wanted to come to Daytona, and he chose that particular area. He's going to be coming back, but he wanted to introduce himself and his company to us. So it was just for discussion only. And that was basically it.
All right. Next is the Main Street South Atlantic Area Board, Ms. Remark.
Yes. We had one action item, a conditional use, 415 Main Street, which used to be the former Wise Guys there at the corner of, I think it's Hollywood or whatever. It's been empty for a while, to establish a restaurant with alcoholic beverage service within 500 feet of another establishment. And that passed with one nay vote. Then we had, I actually left early. I had another obligation that evening, but I did watch the rest of the video. So it was strongly recommended by the chairperson before I left. Ms. Remark, you will watch the video. So yes, I will. So they had a discussion on the E-zone regulations. That's going to be an ongoing discussion. There is, I mean, it's just the first draft back there. The discussion had to do with some suggestions for the draft, some concerns. Mr. Morris and Alex Ford, two attorneys, both made presentations representing various property owners within the E-zone on what they felt were some concerns with this. So that will just continue forward. I mean, there's a lot of discussion that has to happen, and not continue forward. It's going to continue at that board for a while. It's not coming anywhere near here for a while. And then they had an update on some redevelopment projects. Let's see, move the revisions to master plan guidelines, that discussion, to next month. And as I had said also last month, that anyone that would be interested in serving, since I would have to quit serving as a planning liaison starting in January, Mr. Bohan has graciously agreed and certainly evidenced quite an interest. So as long as that's okay with the board, I will let them know that at their November meeting.
Any comments? I think someone has stepped forward, and I think that's very good news and very encouraging. All in favor? Say
Aye.
You're elected by acclamation.
That was a very strong aye.
If all campaigns were that easy. Ready for public comments. Do we have any comments from the public?
John Nicholson, 413 North Granbury Avenue. Went before the City Commission when the topic of the Speedway came up, and my comment to them is that I perceive to be is the new center of Daytona Beach. The high-rises will go in. You're aware of what happened on the hospital property. You have 3 large properties all going high-rise, and they're going to max out. With the new mayors coming in, I don't anticipate much building on the beach side. There's already talk of one of the 2 projects not coming in. So I perceive a very weak 10 or 15 years on the beach side and downtown. So this is the only place that's going to grow. So when things come before you, think about this as being the very center. Because if you look, we almost go down to Dunlawton. We go down past Madeline. we go up to Granada, we go west into the park, that National Reserve, we go into that as city property, and then we go to the beach. So when you triangulate, you end up with the speedways at the very center. And I think when you have, much like Port Orange, their facilities are out west, they have nothing going on Ridgewood anymore. Everything is going out in that direction and near 95. So I anticipate everything for us going into this area. So when things come before you, just keep that in the back of your mind that there's going to be a shift. And what are we going to do with an empty downtown and B-side? Because we went through that with the big boxes. People didn't realize when the big boxes came in, they were great. We put them out there, and downtown died. Second Avenue died. Martin Luther King died. Beach Street died. Main Street, everybody died. So I'm anticipating problems unless we step forward and start thinking of what we can put downtown, beachside, and whatever that won't conflict with what's going out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Ready for staff comments?
I guess John wasn't on Main Street the last 2 weekends.
And coming up November, what is it, 3rd and 4th, the Arts Festival and for downtown.
Want to point out a couple things. In your package, we have the 2013 Planning Board meeting schedule. Unless there are any changes, we will move forward with that. We've tried to modify it from our, it generally meets our fourth Thursday, other than a couple changes that we did this year, so we kind of matched that. But unless anybody has any concerns, we'll move forward with that.
Do we need a
motion on that?
yeah.
We need a
motion
to
motion
accept
to
that.
approve 2013 proposed planning board meeting schedule?
Second.
We have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes.
And you should have the LDC supplement pages for the things that have been updated recently. Number 45 it is for your books. At the last meeting, I had indicated and discussed with you a ISB corridor survey that's coming out that isn't quite ready yet, although it was discussed. I think there were some tweaks made. It should be coming out soon. As soon as that comes out, I'll make sure everyone gets a copy to that. I think it'll be an online survey, so if you want to make comments and can't do them online, we'll be happy to put them in for anyone. But they're looking for input for users of, particularly looking for people that would like to be able to use mass transit in the ISB corridor to provide input to them.
You mentioned something about an internet connection, I think, was going to be on the internet or not? Heard it, I misunderstand.
I think that's how they're going to do the survey, to
Okay.
connect to a link and then provide the comments that way. That's what they indicated. I haven't seen the final version, but that's what it looks like they're headed towards. I guess the only other thing I wanted to give an update, because I know some people have asked, about Dennis Morozak. He's requested family medical leave. It's been approved, and he'll be in that for several weeks, so wish him well, and hopefully we'll see him in the near future, but that's an update.
Could you also give us an update on Clarion? What sort of,
We are, the scope of services that we originally put together with them was based on them doing things in a certain period of time. We have kind of taken that longer than what it is. So we're in discussions with them about what's next to be done. I think that, you know, as you know, they did the draft for the E-zone, so I think we're going to probably fold all that in and probably come back with some suggestions to City Commission in the near future to maybe how to modify that scope. I think if you recall, the last time they came for their 2-day trip, one of the evenings was a public meeting. I don't think anyone came to that. I think we'll probably change next times they come. We'll probably change the process of things we're going to do, but I think that will be moving forward pretty soon.
we're not going to have a draft, we don't have to worry about this over the holidays,
You don't have
reading
to
this or
worry
anything.
about that
Okay,
over the
thank
next
you.
month anyway, and once I think we're getting closer, I will let you know.
Okay, thanks.
So it's not for sure, it wouldn't be something over the holidays.
No, it's not for sure, but it won't be in the next month, I can tell you that. So that takes care of some of the holidays, I guess.
Okay, next is the board member comments, and I would just like to say I was very happy that Mr. Mohan stepped up. And also, we had other good news tonight, because if I understood Ms. Benjamin correctly, she's withdrawing her resignation, is going to stay on.
Great, thank you, Shirley.
In Midtown, so thank you, that's good.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments that you have?
I'd like to make one comment. It's evident that everybody here is probably going to be doing, but I just want to encourage everybody, and next month we have some, we have a big day next month, and that's
Yeah.
voting day.
Yep.
And I just want to make sure that, and encourage everybody just to get out, and regardless of who you're voting for, get out and vote.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's good.
put that on the record.
Second.
And also, next month's meeting is going to be the 15th of November, so it's going to be a little earlier.
Next 2 months, we're moving it.
Yeah.
We're earlier.
If there's no other comments, meeting adjourned.